In the world of the courtroom, judges are expected to remain impartial and objective, even when faced with familiar faces or personal connections. But what happens when a judge recognizes an old friend from their middle school days? In this episode of Court Cam, we take a closer look at a surprising and emotional moment between a judge and a defendant charged with a DUI. Watch as the judge struggles to balance his personal connection with the need for fairness and justice in the courtroom. The first few minutes of the show are taken up with an exciting high-speed pursuit in which a motorist is attempting to elude the authorities. The pursuit is brought to an abrupt halt when the motorist is involved in a collision with a tree. The film of the chase is shown to the judge in court, and the judge expresses outrage at the driver's reckless actions throughout the pursuit. The motorist enters a guilty plea to charges of fleeing from law enforcement and driving recklessly, and is given a sentence of 5 years in jail as a result. The following clip shows a guy who was apprehended while attempting to steal a vehicle from a dealership. The dealership's surveillance camera catches the thief breaking in and driving off with the vehicle after committing the crime. When the guy is taken before the judge, he immediately confesses to having committed the offense and expresses regret for his behavior. When a defendant unexpectedly hits his attorney amid a hearing, the following case takes a violent turn and becomes more dangerous. The defendant makes an aggressive move at his attorney and attempts to strangle him. The suspect is soon taken down by the security personnel who rush to the scene. The court orders a break in the proceedings so that the attorney may get some rest, and he also orders an inquiry into what happened. Ultimately, we get to witness a touching encounter between a judge and an old friend from their youth who's now facing a charge of driving under the influence. A pause is taken in the proceedings when the judge spots an old acquaintance of his and uses the opportunity to meet up with him. The defendant, who has been accused of driving under the influence of alcohol, and standing in front of the judge waiting for his punishment. When going through the defendant's case, the judge observes something about the defendant that seems to be familiar to her. The judge's tone shifts abruptly when he looks at the defendant more attentively and realizes that he knew the defendant back when they were in middle school together. The judge takes a little pause to verify his suspicion before calling the defendant by his first name. This causes the defendant to abruptly roll around in surprise. After that, the judge asks the defendant whether he remembers him, and the defendant shakes his head in agreement while being moved to tears and displaying signs of emotion. The judge then has a long talk with the defendant about their shared experiences from middle school, during which he expresses his regret in seeing his old buddy in court. The conversation then moves on to another topic. The defendant starts crying because he feels humiliated by his present circumstances. The judge attempts to console him by assuring him that he's still the same guy he was all those years ago. This causes the defendant to break down in sobs. Even in the middle of severe allegations and the imposition of a sentence, personal connections can be created in the courtroom, as seen by the emotional interaction that took place between the judge and the defendant in this particular episode. It also highlights the significance of impartiality and the need for judges to maintain their fairness and objectivity, especially in circumstances in which they're familiar with the parties involved. In general, this portion of Court Cam provides a poignant and moving moment that stands out among the often heated and dramatic events that take place inside a courtroom. The two enjoy one another's company while reminiscing about the good old days and trading memories from their youth. The judge then takes his seat once again and hands down a punishment to his companion, which includes a fine and community service. During the episode, we witness the significance of maintaining objectivity and upholding justice in the courtroom, in addition to the possibility of violence and anticipated opportunities for connection. Viewers are still able to get a glance inside the sometimes dramatic world of courtrooms around the nation thanks to Court Cam. We hope you enjoyed this glimpse into the unpredictable and emotional world of courtroom. If you have any thoughts or reactions to this particular segment featuring a judge recognizing an old friend from middle school, we would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever had a personal connection to someone involved in a legal proceeding? How do you think judges should balance their personal connections with the need for impartiality in the courtroom? And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more compelling and thought-provoking content from the world of justice and law enforcement. Thanks for watching.